You've done the inner work. You know your intuition is strong. So why do you freeze up the moment it's time to deliver a reading or a message or make that offer? You think you're just being careful because you don't want to be wrong, but that analysis paralysis is exactly what kills your intuition. But here is how we can actually reframe this old pattern and genuinely start trusting. Hey, welcome. If you're new, I'm Ken. I help spiritual coaches, facilitators, and soul-led leaders expand their capacity for impact and fully hold the mission they know they came for. This video comes from one of our monthly Q&A events. Today's question is:
I know my intuition is strong on my own, but when I'm actually sitting with a client or talking to a prospect, I start second-guessing the hits I get. I find myself filtering the guidance because I worry about getting it wrong or how it might be received. I don't want to come across as too out there or lose my credibility, so I end up overthinking and questioning what's true intuition and what's just my own head getting in the way.
That very much encompasses a lot of there is always going to be an extra layer of self-doubt beyond even just being, let's say, a general coach, because there's also a little bit of that fear of judgment, of also being a little bit more on the less traditional side of things and being a bit more on the edge of science or things like that. And so in an industry where there has been less reputability in the past, it's always going to be that challenge. But what I'm trying to understand is why you feel there is such fear of being seen or being misunderstood. Is that a theme that you feel has been quite evident in most of your life so far, being misunderstood and not allowing yourself to be as you are?
Yeah, I do. I think I've been a chameleon for most of my life, just to fit in and be accepted. Even now, in my business, I want to be taken seriously, so I catch myself not fully being my bubbly, energetic self or watering down some of the things I have to say.
Yeah. And do you feel that fitting in is going to help the specific type of people that you want to serve? Is that something that is going to give them permission to be their vulnerable selves? Is it going to be fitting in that helps you do that? Or is it really showing up and saying, hey, there's this thing I would like to tell you. You may not be open to it, but I'm going to express it anyway. Confidence in your abilities, of course, comes with practice, but if there's always going to be fear inhibiting our decisions and our ability to grow and tread on the line of the discomfort, it's going to keep us stuck. Because really, the fear aspect of things is really something that we create. It doesn't actually exist. It didn't happen. Maybe it's a possibility that people might judge me, but me deciding, okay, this is something that is so scary, being judged. Why would it be so scary? It doesn't actually even harm me in any way, but it harms me because somehow I'm still holding on to some self-belief that perhaps I'm not worthy, or perhaps I can't be allowed to be who I really am. And that's really the core of it. And so we're identifying a bit more of the core nature of the why, and at the same time also identifying, well, is this going to really help me in the most expressive way? And the answer is, of course, no. It clears up a bit of the perspective of saying, okay, well, perhaps it's not easy because anything that is good for me exists just outside of my comfort zone. And that is how I know I'm growing. And so I can stay stuck and stay comfortable and be dimming my own light. Or I can say, you know what? The only way to share my message is to speak up, right? And so it's like, okay, well, duh, that's obvious, but so many of us are like, well, we shouldn't speak up. But it's like, well, that's the only route that we can logically take. So even a very practical way, that's the only route. So there's a lot that we can really unpack and really dive to the core theme here, because a lot of some of these residing fears often come from really old stories, whether that be conditioning from childhood, but often even from other lifetimes, and even the core themes that we came in with in this world, this reality that we're living. And so many of the reflections and the experiences that we have basically trigger those core themes because it's within the blueprint. And the blueprint is a source code that basically exudes the energetic field, which attracts the life that you're living. So a reflection of what's inside. And so this is something for us to transmute. And so it is a core theme, and it is a core important aspect to understand, and it's something we want to resolve. It's not something we can supercharge the discovery and transmutation of with a quick 5-minute discussion, but at least having a bit more of the perspective of realizing, okay, well, I'm only fearing a fear that I'm placing on myself. Perhaps I can allow myself a bit more grace to start allowing myself to express who I am, because that's actually what's in service of. If this has sparked your curiosity, or this is resonating with you so far, and you're a coach, facilitator, or a soul-led leader, you know you're ready for your next level of impact, but you're still being held back by old patterns or blocks, then I have an invitation for you, because the most expansive work you can do demands the most expansive version of you, and the tools that got you here won't get you to your next level. I'm hosting a live 3-day immersion where for the first time you can experience the power of trance quantum energy work for yourself, which is the 3-step channeled modality I mentioned in this video. I will also share more channeled insights on how the soul blueprint is holding you back from your next level of impact. This is for the spiritual entrepreneur who is ready to stop wasting time figuring it out on their own. Your mission is too important to wait. The link is in the description down below for you to register, and I'll see you there. The biggest thing you can do is dare to be wrong, because we can only learn by making mistakes. So I can fear being wrong and being judged for being wrong, or I can realize the fastest route to my growth and my confidence is making the mistakes, because those are the things I learn from. I don't learn from doing things right. I learn from making mistakes. And so the overthinking comes from the genuine, intentful, pure-hearted aspect of, I don't want to give wrong information, and I want to make sure it's not coming from a place of fear and it's coming from genuine intuition, etc., etc. But what am I doing right now? I'm thinking. I'm assessing. I'm analyzing. Where does intuition exist? In feeling, in the heart space. So what's going to allow us to connect with it? It's going to be simply taking a break and just focusing our attention on our heart space. You can put your hand on your chest and you can just breathe into it. And then you move some of the energy into the body and you just feel that. Now you can act upon anything that you feel. And the greatest instinct that I could impart upon you for this specific type of, let's say, situation is just trust. It's a mechanism you want to practice and dare to be wrong. Just trust. That's the instinct you want to build, because the stronger and the bigger your trust muscle gets, the deeper you can go into your intuition, because it needs a really comfortable environment to come and play with you. And that needs to be a trusting environment. And so when there's always an assessing, the instinct is to move into the head rather than stay in the body. And that's the very opposite mechanism to actually get you to share that information. Hey, it's me again. If you have any questions or thoughts, share them in the comments section down below and I'll be happy to chat. And if you're looking for more intuitive guidance on your soul mission journey, then click on this video above and I'll see you there. Until next time, bye.